Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Morning Markets on Friday, the 24th of April. A couple of things that we've been discussing as an investment team this morning that I wanted to share with you. The first of which was the announcement yesterday from the UK Treasury and Debt Management Office about the issuance of government debt, i.e. gilts, over the coming 3-month period. It's indicated that the issuance will be in the region of £180 billion, a significant amount of money which will be used to support the fiscal stimulus that the government has discussed in the recent weeks. Normal market conditions and that amount of issuance, to put that in context, only a few weeks ago when the original budget was put in place, issuance for the full year was expected to be £156 billion worth of debt. So a real significant change with that figure in 3 months. Normal market conditions again, you would have expected to see the gilt market weaken, i.e. bonds sell off given that amount of supply. That didn't happen yesterday. UK gilts remained in the 30 basis point range on the 10-year. Why is that? Ultimately because we know in the background that the Bank of England have committed to purchasing £200 billion worth of gilts in the secondary market. So that will provide the capital to bond market participants to purchase new issuance coming from the Treasury. The other thing that we've been discussing this morning is just some of the indications and reports that are coming out of the European leaders meeting last evening, where it does look as if they have reached some form of agreement around a further stimulus bill for the Eurozone and further support. In typical Eurozone fashion, however, it's very difficult to actually find out what has been agreed, and probably the finer details are not there yet, and the usual sticking points still remain, primarily around the conflict or the tension, I should say, that exists between the richer and more conservative northern states and with the likes of Italy and Spain on the other side of that equation. So something that we may get more detail as the day unfolds. Turning then to the US, we had the unemployment claimant count yesterday and a further 4.4 million people claiming unemployment relief in the US. That takes us to sort of 26 million since the start of the lockdown of the US economy. That is a phenomenal number in such a short period of time. But then again, the thing that looking at is just the rate of change, and that number has continued to fall over the past number of weeks. Yes, it's a big number, but it is falling. So that's something to continue to monitor. And then finally, I think the one thing that I wanted just to touch on was just what we've been seeing from the earnings reports over the past couple of days, indeed in Europe. And with the Euro stocks, the significant proportion of the companies have now reported. Interesting to note that approximately about 25% or a quarter have removed guidance for the full year, and 30% of companies have either passed on or cancelled their dividend. So that's a trend that is there. I think on the guidance outlook, basically nobody knows what's going to happen in that regard, and companies are in the same position as everyone else. And just finally today, I just wanted to draw your attention to an article that we'll be publishing later today on the historic events in the oil market at the beginning of the week. So please do pick that up later today as that is published. Thank you very much and have a good weekend. I look forward to speaking to you next week.